Thank you, Jamie. Now let's summarize the last 2 hours. First, the importance of adoption. The more users that use business intelligence, the bigger your return. And if you can target the displays to what they need, then you enhance their adoption, their creativity, and their efficiency. Next, barriers to adoption. Here I would like to focus on evolving technology, AI. We must allocate time to AI. It's absolutely critical, as has been demonstrated, but you cannot forget the current. Both have to be brought forward simultaneously, and that's going to give you your greatest return. And related to the end user, the challenge is lack of training. If the staff is not trained on what they can use and how they use it, well, your investment is less than it could be. Now let's move to Gateway, a unified platform which supports both increased adoption and return on your investment. Gateway is comprised of my library plus the three clients that we're all familiar with, DivePort, DiveTab, and good old ProDiver. Stan gave a great presentation in relationship to the new functionality that we have. Gateway is going to be beneficial because it's going to make your user community more efficient by having access to everything at once. At the same time, it's going to allow for easy development with the integration. And of course, it runs on all the platforms. Now, the question becomes, how do we migrate to Gateway? Mike Phillips reviewed the steps that you can take to bring your projects over to 7.2 Gateway as is. And then you can migrate through step 2 and then step 3. It's important to take one step at a time. Don't try to jump. Right? Just take one step at a time, and you'll see a real gain in efficiency for your user community and IT. Coexistence with others. Dan Jablonski presented on working with Power BI, but we will also be working with Tableau and Qlik as well. By integrating all the BI tools together, you'll end up with greater simplicity and consistency. Everything is now in one place. And this is going to allow for further adoption. It's going to allow for a greater return on investment. From there, we move to AI, artificial intelligence. We had presentations in relationship to how we're using it internally today. We're transcribing, we're summarizing, and we will use it as an AI note taker. We are doing this today. We will be working with you when we have meetings to take notes and then outline them in an automated fashion. A huge increase in productivity that we will be sharing with you. Now, on the negative, a large language model does not work for business intelligence. They hallucinate. They do not give a consistent answer. Now, there's a lot of research going on here, so I'm sure that improvements will come, but not today. So we are going to only provide software that provides a consistent, truthful answer. That means algorithms and expert systems. We built assisted analytics several years ago as a first step, and now we will continue to develop to provide greater insight to the data that you have. Now, let's move over to the lab. Various members of the lab presented software that is in 7.2. Some of you are going to make a real difference through the use of this. Then we move to short-term projects that are not out but will come out shortly. For example, changes to Spectre, which is going to speed things up even faster. And finally, we move to tasks that are more open term in nature. And I would like to point out two. One is stamps and dashboards without the measure factory. Not everybody is going to move over to the measure factory. A lot of you are just going to stay where you are because you don't have the complexity of the data that requires the measure factory. So for those of you who choose not to convert, we will have stamps and dashboards working without the measure factory. And the last point is AI and alerts. We'll be working on this so that we can use AI and expert systems to provide the alerts that the machine determines are important so that you don't have to go searching. It's presented right in front of you. And in closing, I believe we've got a good direction. I believe it provides a return on your investment as you migrate forward. And I know we will take care of you, our customer, today and tomorrow, and you will continue to support Dimensional Insight today and tomorrow. And now I would like to turn it back to Kathy and Leben.